Hey guys, welcome back to another part in the playthrough. We are heading into town, Saint Denis, to see a show. So let's put a marker there to get there as fast as possible. Or we can maybe go by train. Let's do that. Let's just go by train. We will see the show and hopefully get paid our due rewards from the magician performers. And afterwards we will continue one of the main missions. Here we go. I wonder, by the way, we don't eat that much, how skinny Arthur has become. Weight, underweight, yeah, we do have to eat some stuff. Let's do that once we arrive at the station. Oh. Here we go.
Yeah.
Come on, Lizzie. You can do this. What's this? Ah, that's a little barn thing where you can race through. Like some kind of storage building. And let's get to Road Station.
Yeah.
Here we go. And where is the hitching pole? There it is. Oh.
You can rest now, girl.
Thank you very much. See you later. Hello, hello.
Hello
Also
again.
check if we have a bounty. I don't think so, but you never know.
I thought you were sweating a little.
And let's get a train ticket to Saint... God damn it, I don't have cash. Jesus, wasn't expecting that
Money
one.
to be made on the new railroad for those who know which way the stick flows.
Alright, so we have to sell something. Let's get to the general store and sell something. Hopefully that isn't too far away. Damn it. Ah, there it is.
Oh, yeah? Oh, hey, friend, remember me?
Hey!
This here's the feller. The one that found me.
The medicine man, huh? Helps with the mystery box?
Very cool.
I will owe you my whole life. No lie. But, let me buy you something from the store. Whatever you want, it's on me.
Very cool. To claim a single
Okay.
free item, go to the
Appreciate
Roach
it.
General Store now.
Having conquered evil the way I have, it's the least a humble man can do.
Very cool.
Yeah, well.
What can I do for you?
Yeah,
It's about
guy
time
with the snake
I spared
bite
the
says
store.
I can put
Yeah,
something
yeah.
here on his tab.
That fool? Jesus. If it's not one thing, it's another with him. But he pays his owe, so who am I to argue? Let me
Right.
know what you choose. I'll add it to his list.
Let's buy the most expensive item in here. No, that's not fair. But let's see. It's such a bummer that you cannot really see how it looks. The Chevalier, the Earl, the Gambler. You undertake no risk when ordering this outfit. Gallant and stylish, these are top red garments, attire set in a class by itself. Made in America. Pretty cool. This is, by the way, a pretty cool reward, like a free item. I find vests I don't really care for. Trousers, nope. Boots, nope. They are all so similar, I don't really see the difference. Goatskin rifleman gloves, hand stitched, sleeked, fingerless kid gloves, comfortable and handsome. Those look pretty cool, I must say. Suspenders, Jesus Christ, there is so much stuff. Spurs, nope, that's not nice. Your little Lord Fauntleroy. Holy shit, what? That's a freaky picture. Cannot really read it. I cannot zoom in on it. It only zooms in on the top half, but it's pretty freaky. Be sure to peruse our boys section for great bargains on boy blouse waists. Boys blouse waist. Our new and handsome patterns offer rich colors and sobby effects. A father can express pride in dressing his son in the finest ruffled and embroidered blouse waist with sailor collar and cuffs to match. Pretty freaky. Anyway, now let's get to here. Let's check the outfits again. Here was 86. That's pretty expensive that I can take. Was 92 the Earl, but yeah, they don't look that cool. But if I want the best bang for my buck, I should of course take a whole outfit. So we furnish attire set in a class by itself. Gallant and stylish, these are top rate garments. 98. An outfit curated for gentlemen of the plains. Alright, I will go with Chevalier then. Why not? Yeah, I'm pretty... Ah, now I can see them. Cool. All outfits. Very cool. Alright, we have this one. This was the most expensive one, I guess. Gambler. The Earl. The Corson. It looks like a boat dude almost. And the Heartlands. This one looks pretty cool. This one looks a bit snobby in my book. This one looks pretty straight up. You can actually choose variations on them or not? What did it say? No. All outfits. Here, choose a variation of the Heartlands. And if I pick it, I don't get a variation. Is suitable? Is this outfit is hot for suitable temperatures? I think they're all for hot temperatures, right? Yes. No, I am going with the Heartlands outfit. Looks pretty cool. Maybe change the hat and then we're good to go. Thank you very much.
I'll let him know. You're paying next time, though.
Yes, and I will also be selling something to pay for my train ticket. And let's sell something. And let's sell... What do we have a lot of? Dead eye. Horse medicine I will for sure keep. Snake oil I will keep. Can't I sell? No, he doesn't want valuables. He only wants regular general stuff. Whatever, I will just sell one of these, sell one of these, sell some coffee. And horse medicine I won't sell. Horse, everything horse related I want to keep. This one. And some gun oil. Horse reviver. It's pretty expensive. Predator bait, whatever, I will just sell it. Stimulants and cigar. No, I will keep that one. Let's see how much money we have now. Okay, we'll check that. Yes, we have enough. Very nice. Dry goats, linens, meat, clothes, tonics, and nations.
One of those days.
It's cool that there's a side door that you can get out of. Okay, let's thank him a lot.
Pick something up on your tab. Thanks again. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Alright, and let's get our new outfit. Ah, we are already wearing it, right? Yes, but now I would like to get my old hat going.
There it is.
Line up, Rhodes. Get your papers.
No, where the hell is Lizzie? Ah, I put her around the back, right? Not. Ah, here she is. Think I maybe I can change outfits. I have no idea how this works. No, this is simply my satchel. We do need to feed her. Let's do that right now. And let's try to change this stupid hat. Alright, there's nothing here. Horse cargo. What's the difference between horse... Ah, that's only this. This is simply my satchel, and the most right category is the horse cargo, but the horse is not storing anything. Displays all items that are stored on the horse. Normally I guess the rifles would be here. But because we are not allowed to shoot, they have been disabled. In this town we're not allowed to shoot. I should not forget to eat myself. Because we were very underweight. And let's also, just for the fun of it, eat some canned food. Why not? Just to get some weight on. Not necessarily for the course, it's only for the body weight. And still, I wonder, how can I get my old freaking hat on? I have no idea where the... do you have to get back to camp? I thought you could also change attire through your horse, but doesn't really... I don't really see a way how. No, it really should be here in the horse cargo, but it's not here. I don't see any... clothing categories. That's a bit weird. Where did my outfit go? I mean, I bought another outfit, but I assume I did not leave the old outfit at the general store, but whatever. Actually, we have to get on with the mission, but before that, I am curious about the lore as well. This could take a while, but I think I am going to read the paper. Because I've already seen this dude earlier, and it's also to... yeah, in order not to forget. Now I see him, I can better do it now than later with the risk of forgetting about it. So let's do it.
Troubling me now.
There are even more copies than one. Shining the Truth and Lines since 1832, 1899, volume 44. Alright, let's buy them both.
I'll take a paper, please.
2.
Make sure you come back tomorrow.
Yes, yes. Wow. Is there a paper each day? Because I remember they were like super huge, those papers. But let's check it out. No. Let's first read 44. Okay, this time I think... Can I read it? Yeah, I can pretty well read it. Saint Denis Times Tribune. 100 timber workers are needed at the Appleseed Timber Company in West Elizabeth. Alright, let's start from the left. Exclusion Act upheld. Immigrants must stay out, says President. Asks to make law evicting immigrants permanent. Foreign workers harmful to wages economy. The Chinese Exclusion Act passed into federal law in 1882 has been renewed. The law prohibits all further immigration of Chinese laborers, saying they have a detrimental effect on the US economy and are being used by industrialists to undercut labor and keep wages low for everybody. Proponents of the regulation also argue that the Chinese have committed acts of violence upon Americans and will never integrate properly into our society. States such as California have set their own restrictions, and some are calling for mandatory repatriation of all Chinese workers already here. Many Chinese are faced with the decision to stay in the United States or return to China to be with their families, whom they may never again see in their lifetime due to the ban on immigration. Upon to stay in the United States or return to China to be with their home they may never see. Many Chinese are faced with the decision to stay in the United States or return to China to be with their families, whom they may never again see in their lifetime due to the ban on immigration. But the ban on immigration is in the United States, right? Not in China. So if their families are in China, they can go and see their Chinese families, I guess. I don't really understand that sentence. Upon its renewal, Senator Lansing from New York called the act nothing less than the legal... He was shouted down by a majority of senators who support the ban. Alright. There are sometimes... sentences left out. Upon its renewal, Senator Lansing from New York called the act nothing less than the legalization of racial discrimination. He was shouted down by a majority of senators who support the ban. Okay, this is all like a play on the current political climate in the US, I guess. Machine kills man. First recorded death by petrol-driven vehicle. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Eberhard were heading from Boston to San Francisco by vehicle Thursday and met a terrible accident as hundreds waited hours in the streets for their arrival in Stamford, Connecticut to see an automobile for the first time. The couple was taking a much celebrated drive across the United States, seldom accomplished, as onlookers in each town stopped to see a horseless carriage with their very own eyes. According to officials, the sands have been in a terrible state since the rains. The roads have been in a terrible state since the rains, and the wheel and its spokes abruptly shattered, causing the automobile to fly into a ravine, flinging Mr. Eberhard out and in front of the vehicle and breaking his neck. Sorrow in the south. Immigration is beginning. At one time, Rhodes stood as a true small town jewel in the south. Tobacco and cotton production boomed, bringing an era of hope and prosperity that lasted even after the war. However, many worry that prosperity is now on the decline. Production of crops is down, and the last two surviving big plantation families, the Greys and the Braithwaites, while always bitter rivals, have increased hostilities as this economic downturn worsens. With the emancipation of slaves and acrimonious attitudes persisting after the Civil War, some worry a massive northern migration of Negro workers and farmhands could spell trouble for the region as a whole, and especially towns like Roach. Alright. Holy shit, it's so much, this reading. Evidence of ancient mystery discovered. Local man finds rock carvings. Church officials denounce claim. Ministers gathered last week to denounce the claims of eccentric resident Frank Sinclair of Big Valley, West Elizabeth, who asserts he has found evidence of ancient peoples in local rock formations. He has discovered several mysterious rock carvings around the country and claimed they point to a great meaning, a mystery he intends to solve. Religious leaders have grown concerned with his work, worrying that others will get caught up in his fervor and heretical beliefs. There is only one meaning and message, and that is the message of the good book, Reverend Sterling Morton stated during the gathering. Mexican desperados bring terror. Grizzlies under siege. Boldness of Flecko's gang warriors law. Some of the the most desperate bandits in the region are pouring a rain of terror on the Grizzlies and surrounding country. Led by famous gunslinger, outlaw and robber Flecko Hernandez, a gang of thieves has raided numerous local towns, including Strawberry and Valentine. In one daring but ultimately fruitless train robbery, the safe and strong boxes were blown to atoms. Frightened passengers were held hostage, though not mercifully molested. Reverend Eunice Garrett has called for the expulsion of what he calls all men of Mexican ancestry, as they bring villainy and wanton crime to our great country. Cigarette cards give fame to murderers. New edition from Falcon Claw draws protests. Anti-cigarette league warrant card spreads habits to youth. For many a year, man and boy alike have delighted in all manner of collectible cards, included in pouches, packets and tins of tobacco, but a new set from Falcon Claw Tobacco that celebrates famous gunslingers and outlaws has drawn the ire of the Puritan groups. The cards honor gunslingers such as Black Bell, Jim Boy Calloway and even Emmett Granger, a known sadistic killer who has in recent years turned to hog fancying. The Butcher brothers, who ran afoul of legendary gunslinger Landon Ricketts, are also featured. Mexican desperado Flecker Hernandez graces one card. When the likes of Frank Heck, the Otis Miller boys, or the Cower Billy Midnight, who shot many men in the back, are celebrated in this way, it spreads the contaminating influences and effects of the cigarette habits, said Miss Haiti Beardsley of the Anti-Cigarette League. Stores report that tobacco has been selling well. Right, it's really weird. They blame like it's bad for your health. The cigarettes are spread, or is it like a an argument against the spreading of celebrating criminals? It's those like celebrating criminals and celebrating bad health. Those two issues are a bit conflated in this article in my book. Alright, death lurks in the dust. Scarlet fever rages in Armadillo. Shocking conditions in the city. Scarlet fever exists in this town to an extent that has never been seen before, believed to be due to bad sanitation, though one health official claims it is exacerbated by the high winds and dust storms plaguing the country. The spread of zoonotic diseases has raised great fears. Many households are under quarantine and those who can are fleeing in droves. Sanitary conditions in the town are deplorable and the mortality rate is so high that residents have taken to burning bodies. Between the dust storms killing crops and causing starvation and the scarlet fever epidemic, some say Armadillo feels like a cursed town. Travelers are advised to avoid the area. Emperor, the Emperor. Some kind of love box. Then we have a commercial from Mariana Madrani, cocaine chewing gum. And an article on the art of angling by Jeremy Gill, bullhead catfish. Ah, that's the fisher dudes. My writings on angling continue to attract fresh young neophytes eager to begin life's journey of standing in solitude, holding a pole in silence, free from the berating of the fairer sex. Indeed, I have ever taught more than one US president to fish, especially catfish, for herring bottom feeders into a pernicious situation. For luring bottom feeders into a pernicious situation that benefits the well-heeled is a prerequisite for successful politicians. Almost as much as it is a prerequisite for any wise husband. Catfish respond to handmade lures. Crayfish and worms try all three when attempting to land this simply wonderful and much maligned fish. They also need to be coaxed, not bullied. There are fantastic bullhead catfish near Sisika Islands. If you see me angling for bullheads, please do not come say hello and ask for an autograph. Unlike if you see me angling for bullhead, please do come say hello and ask for an autograph. Unlike the blah blah blah, I promise the fish, I promise I won't bite. Yeah, he's pretty vain or self-indulgent. And let's get into where there are still some lights and finish the rest of the articles. Number 44. Who are Scarlet Meadows bandits? Train robbery confounds lawmen. Wagon block train officials call for action. Gertrude Gambake was knitting a hat for her niece when the train lurched to a stop and shouting commenced. I feared for my life, she said. Passengers were subjected to a terrifying ordeal as the train was robbed near the Lemoyne border. Outlaws used an oil wagon on the tracks to cause the train to come to a stop. They then threatened the passengers to give up their belongings. It was then that the lawmen, having been tipped off to the robbery, arrived on the scene and confronted the outlaws. Sheriff Tompkins was one of those lawmen who arrived on the scene. There is very little to tell. We are searching for evidence at this time. The passengers are in great distress. The supply cars have been looted. Men are dead. This region's problems with lawlessness have returned. Reports indicate the outlaws escaped after having engaged in a furious gun battle with the lawmen. President congratulates America, says US is unstoppable. Spanish-American War outcome celebrated. Victory in 100 days. President Alfred McAllister congratulated the American people in their response to the call to arms as North and South joined together to defeat Spain, saying that Spain is no longer a power and the United States stands as the strongest nation in the Western Hemisphere. The splendid little war saw the US Navy defeat the Spanish fleet in a mere few hours. Not one American life was lost in that skirmish, proving what McAllister says is testament to the glory and perseverance of America. Overall, only 300 Americans lost their lives in the war, while the other side reported thousands of dead at the hands of our brave boys. He especially made mention of Colonel Thaddeus Warman and his Rough Riders. the cavalry troop that took San Juan Hill in Guarma, becoming a national hero in the process. Alright. Murderer on loose was headed to prison. Ambush, freeze outlaw, member of Vander Linde gang, hot chase for fugitives. Sean McGuire, a member of the notorious Dutch from Vander Linde's gang, has escaped from custody. McGuire was captured and in the process of being transported from Blackwater to a federal prison in the west. He is part of the Vander Linde's gang who were responsible for the recent Blackwater boat robbery that left many dead. The shootout was fierce and several men were killed as a result. Bounty hunters had caught McGuire but were ambushed on the stretch of the upper Montana River by Confederates of the accused. Upon relating the circumstances of the escape, one lawman on the scene said that McGuire repeatedly expressed the idea of jail as no terror to him, nor the idea of death by hanging man's noose. McGuire even once suggested to a sheriff that his rope wasn't stout enough and may break under his weight. Officials have called for action, saying the escape is yet another example of the inability of police to keep criminals incarcerated. Cornwall expansion continues. Latifiko's Cornwall is a well-known expansionist. A railroad into every expanse of this country is only a matter of time. He declared when launching the Cornwall Southern and Eastern Railways. He built the trains and uses them to ship goods for Cornwall freight and commodities, Cornwall kerosene and tar, and his other business concerns. The Caribbean, another week goes by without a ship ferrying Cornwall sugar calling into America. He is now calling for government support to bring protection to industries working to improve conditions in the West after a string of robberies. Mr. Cornwall, who has been known to speak glibly about the evil effects of education upon certain kinds of lesser intellects, is one of the wealthiest men in the region and requires numerous private guards to protect his person and multiple concerns. Despite questionable accounts of poor conditions at plantations run by Cornwall employees, his blah blah blah, the United States and Congress has so far shown little appetite for breaking up what many people call a regional monopoly of services. Alongside his private militia, he is believed to be one of the principal clients of the
son of a bitch back again?
Pinkerton agency in the region.
Yes, sirree.
Alright. God damn it, wrong button. So annoying. So very annoying. I am still going to Dr. Sartre's nursing corset, a perfect French form yet functional. I am going to check out the sentence that is on the flipping side, or the crease, crest, the angle, I don't know how you call it, where the paper is folded in two, to see what is that angle at the Cornwall expansion article. So give me a second. He is now calling for government. Okay, his sugar business reaches into the Caribbean, and not a week goes by without a ship ferrying Cornwall calling into America. That was the sentence. Okay. Nothing missed there. The plague of children, pinworms, Dr. Simpkins worm syrup. Albright captured snake oil salesman, poisoned many. When Fanny Crenshaw suffered from rheumatism, she looked to Benedict Albright to ease her suffering. He told her that fatty streak of flesh around the vertebrae of reptiles will cure any case of rheumatic issue. Showing her a long list of certificates from happy patients she had cured, she borrowed money from the bank and purchased several bottles. Miss Crenshaw is now one of many people who have been poisoned by Albright's so-called miracle cures. Tales have poured in after each town he visited, with purchasers feeling sickly and unusually far worse than their original condition they sought to cure. Albright was finally captured and brought into the office of Valentine's Sheriff by a bounty hunter who is rumored to be a family member or friend of someone poisoned by Albright's hideous concoctions.
I pay other people to do the work.
Alright,
Thank you.
read the Saint Denis Times Tribune and keep posted. $1 per annum. Lennox Electric Company, Fuel and Supply. Lennox Electric Company, Saint Denis. Alright, I am also reading all this. What kills for fugitive? Because there could be clues for like new missions, and there are also always stories about things we did in the world ourselves. And it also, those commercials, they give maybe a bit, they give like an insight into the company, the names of the companies the active in the region, and it is all to get a bigger grasp on the context of the world we are roaming in. And yeah, it is maybe boring. It takes quite some time. It really takes like 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes for one of those papers to be read. And of course, I'm not native English speaker, so my reading is not the quickest. But I do think it's worthwhile. That having been said, I am not now immediately going to read the number 45 edition, because that is simply a bit too much. So I will save that one for later, because I'm not. It looks like only one page of reading, but the font is pretty small, and yeah, it takes like 10 to 15 minutes at least. So I will do that later. One newspaper is enough for now. That did conclude this episode. We bought an outfit, we read the newspaper, and we sold some stuff to get money for the... What the hell does that say? To get money for a train ticket. So let's get to the station, and in the next episode we will turn left. For what? Whatever. Hands wanted. Where the hell is the station? Guess it's all the way up there. We will get to Saint Denis to watch the show, as we actually wanted to do in this episode, and then afterwards continue with one of the missions. So we got our money for the train ticket. Oh, sorry dude. And we can buy that here.
Welcome back.
And we will do that in the next episode. Hope to see you there. For the meantime, never ever forget to keep on gaming. See you later.